from the MLA Style Center. You can see the URL up here. This is an interactive page. On the right hand side is a key, and then plug into the template as it is shown here. The first element or piece of information that you need to look for is the author. And so for this source, the author of the essay that you're using will vary depending on your choice. For this example, I'm going to use an essay written by Richard Dormant. It's entitled Why Men Still Can't Have It All. And so Richard Dormant would be the first element, and his last name comes first. Remember that. The author's last name is typed first. If there are other authors, you'll type and you'll have the name, first name first, last name last. But for one author, or for that first author, the last name does come first. And then you have a comma in between Dormant and Richard, and then you have a period. And notice before we go to the second element, it is the title of the source, period. Okay. The third element is title of container, comma. So the punctuation on each one of these boxes is actually the punctuation that you should use for that particular element. And so title of the source, think of that as the title of the article, the title of the article that's in a newspaper, or the title of the web page that you're reading and using as your source of information. So title of the source in this case is the title of that essay, and it is Why Men. And notice that each word is capitalized in MLA, and that there are quotation marks around the title of the source. I do have that period coming in, and then closed quotation marks. And I'm ready to go on to the next element, which is title of container. This is the language that MLA uses to describe the elements for a citation. The title of container. For a book, think of it as the binding around the entire piece that has the information contained within. The essays are contained within that binding, and the binding is actually the bigger work, or the book itself, which is entitled They Say, I Say, Across Disciplines. So look at your information source and grab out that piece of information, and notice that I will be ending that element with a comma. Now I am unable to cause the, never mind. I just realized they are going to help me out here, because I do need the italics. So I'm going to click on that and start typing. They say, I say, because the title of the container does require that it be typed in italics and comma. The next element, other contributors. Many times you may not have other contributors, but when you can skip it if you don't, but when you do, it would be the fourth element. And this particular information source is edited by Gerald Graft and Kathy Birkenstein. Okay, so edited, I'm going to type that, by Gerald, and it's first name first, last name last with the editor, and Kathy Berkenstein. Now, if I had 3 or more editors, I would not type all of their names. I would, after the first author, I would say et al. I would type et al. But with only 2, I can type out both of their names. And notice I have comma after that piece of information. Now the version, look to the version as being the edition, or in this case it's an ebook. So it is the 4th edition, and I'm just going to type ed for that, and I'm going to put a period and then a comma, and then I want ebook here and another comma. Okay, so that is the version. Number, I do not have a number. The only time you'll have a number here is when you're using an article from a journal publication. Otherwise, you'll just skip number 6 or the number and go to the publisher. Now the publisher, look at your resource and grab the name for the publisher is W.W. Norton, comma, and it is a publication date of 2018, comma, and location for this source I will have, this will be my last element, and it will be the page number. If it were a website, I would be putting a URL or a DOI or permalink here. But I have page numbers from this book, and it's more than one page, so it's PP, period. And then I start reading the essay on page 617, and it goes through 637. Period is my ending for this citation. And here it is. I can now copy this citation that I have created using this interactive template, and I could go to my computer and pull up Word, and on a blank document I could create my works cited page. We do have in our guides a template for the creation of an MLA paper that has all of the functions, all of the requirements for MLA already added into that template. So instead of it works cited being in this particular font, it's always going to be in Times New Roman, and I just noticed that, and it'll be 12 point, so I won't have to worry about that when I start working with that template. And that template is inside your assignment guide for this course. And so I've changed that to works to Times New Roman, and I'm going to go up here to the paragraph area since I'm in Word, and I'm going on this page. I want a hanging indent. This is the indentation. And I want the spacing to be 0 point and 0 point, and I'm going to need to change the after spacing to 0 point because it adds up, opens up as default to an 8 point for some reason. And the line spacing, I do not want multiple, I do want double. But like I said, with the template that we have inside the guide within D2L for this particular assignment, you will have a template that you can download, and as it opens up, it'll have all of these specifications, the margins, the font, the works cited page. Everything's going to be already formulated for you. The formatting will be set. And so for this first citation, I copied and pasted the citation that I created inside that interactive template, and now Control V will paste it for me. It's double spaced, I have that hanging indent, and it's exactly as I created it inside the template, and I'm good to go with using this particular citation. And actually it didn't keep my Times New Roman. Another good reason to be sure that you grab that template, because it has already gotten all of these little quirks worked out of it, and it will create those citations without any errors.